Welcome to the Tie-Dyed Therapist. I'm your host, Richard Killian. And why on earth am I talking about afternoon tea? Find out more. Thank you for joining me today. Tastes better that way. I wanted to share with you something that happened about 20 years ago that relates to this story that I'm going to tell you today. 20 years ago, I got to go to London with my former partner for a vacation, and it was actually a birthday gift that he had planned for me. And I have to say that the highlight of the trip was I got to go to Kensington Palace for a tour, but I did more than just a tour of Kensington Palace. I actually got an admission to an afternoon tea at the palace. Now, what was very clever about this was that the afternoon tea was held in this building called the Orangerie, which is really the royal greenhouse for Kensington Palace. It was a huge glass structure, very tall, held all sorts of tropical and exotic plants. It was magnificent. And in the middle of this royal greenhouse was a tea room. I actually got to have an afternoon tea on the grounds of Kensington Palace 20 years ago, and I never forgot it. It was extremely elaborate. Probably need some more tea. It was very elaborate. It was really well done. All the little cakes and scones, everything was just magnificent. And I told myself 20 years ago that someday I was going to have an afternoon tea for myself. Well, 20 years go by, and of course, that idea kind of went in and out of my head several times. Last Friday, I turned 60 years old. And I told myself a couple weeks ago that what I really wanted to have was an afternoon tea party. So I did. I formed and created an afternoon tea party with my friends and my neighbors. My relatives came. Everybody that I love came to this tea party on Sunday, this past Sunday. And I had the most marvelous foods that I didn't have to bake. And one of them was scones with clotted cream. If you've never had clotted cream, it is the most decadent, wonderful thing you will ever have. It's not butter and it's not cream. It's a very interesting sort of halfway point between the two. And as my friend Linda Richmond would say, it's better than butter, because it was just amazing on a warm scone with jam on it. So that was the highlight of the afternoon tea for me, but food-wise. But then I got to see all of my friends. I had relatives coming from out of state. I got to do a lot of things and talk about a lot of stories from the past that I had been wanting to share. It was a really great time. I'm really glad I had this. I have to tell you though, a few days before the event, I was rather emotional all week because I think I was remembering all of these things that had happened over the last 60 years. We all make a lot of memories, good, bad, ugly, all kinds of memories. And I was having a couple days of reflection and remembrance, and sometimes it made me rather emotional. And so I guess that happens when you get older. We just start to remember more things. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you today. I know it's not a therapeutic topic, but it's part of me, and it's part of what makes me different as a therapist and as a human being. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks.